We got the best help here. This is amazing. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Thanks for being here. My name is Deshaun Carter. I am a Spring developer advocate. I love my job, and I'm jazzed to be here. This is fun for me. And the Spring team has been working really hard at making our lives a little bit better. We're going to talk about null safety. Some might call it the billion-dollar problem. Come on in. Come on in. I love my job. Here's the thing. This is kind of new and hot and cool. It's the newness. When you come to my house for dinner, if you leave hungry, that's your fault. You're here. If you've got questions about anything, raise your hand. Ask your questions. Don't leave this session hungry. Got it? Yeah? Head nods. Fantastic. Everybody can see. We're going to get going. I did this session yesterday, and we have a special guest. We have some people from JetBrains, and they're going to show us what this looks like for you. If you're using IntelliJ, they've got some of this stuff included to make our lives even that much easier. The problem statement, again, it's null. Java said, hey, yeah, we want to have this null value, and maybe that wasn't the best idea. So I'm going to let this demo run. How many people have ran into a null pointer exception in production? That's a hard one. It's a hard one to identify. It's a hard one to, you got to look out. You got to do a lot of stuff. And that's not fun, right? Because you're not finding it. It'd be nice if we could find it at build time, but here we are. Null pointer exception. Ugh, that's the worst. So we've made some changes. The Spring team invested in this in Spring Framework 6 and in Spring Boot 3. They made some investments. They had some custom annotations, but it wasn't across the entire portfolio. With upcoming releases of Spring Boot 4 and Spring Framework 7, the Spring team said, hey, it's time. The project is, which is the project that the JEP, there's a JEP that's out there that's going to handle this in a future version of Java, but it's not here yet. And we have new releases. So let's see what we can do. And here we are. We don't want to run into this anymore. So here's the issue. It would be nice. It would be nice. Some of the other languages have made that decision to not have null values. So let's do it. Let's make it explicit. And JSpecify is a project that's going to help us. This is the project that we're using that we brought into the Spring projects to help us with this particular problem, the billion-dollar problem. Here's the mental model. Sometimes we know, sometimes we don't. Sometimes we get a null value, sometimes we don't. We want to have a little bit more understanding. We want to make it easier. So let's see. Let's see what we can do to make this easier for ourselves. We're going to add a couple of dependencies. The first one, of course, is JSpecify. And if we want to catch these errors early, if we want to catch it at build time, we are going to add also error-prone, a plugin, and NullAway. These are the additional plugins that will make our lives a little bit easier. So JSpecify includes the annotations, so we can express this explicitly. And then we have a couple of dependencies that are going to help us at build time. So now we've got this new annotation at nullable. And by the way, thank you, Sebastian Deleuze. This is his presentation. This is the one he's delivered. I'm just here representing him because he couldn't be here. This is fantastic. This is it provides all the documentation, so we know exactly what we're doing. This is going to make it a little bit easier, but we still have some work to do, right? If we're migrating to Spring Boot 4 and Spring Framework 7, again, it's going to be included in all the projects, so you don't have to worry about getting null values out of the new versions of the Spring projects. If you'd like to do that yourself, you're going to have a little bit of work to do to add this to your projects as well. But you get to know that all the projects in Spring Boot or in the Spring projects are taking care of this. So this is fantastic. We're adding at nullable. And this is kind of the move that we're making sure that we're explicit about whether we can return a null value or not. Again, we didn't know otherwise. We were running those null pointer exceptions otherwise. Checking out our example, and we're good. So the question is, why not use optional? How many people have gone down that path? I got a null here one time. Let me just slap some optional on it and move on. We've all done it. Some of us have done it. Yes. Fantastic. It happens. But it's not always the best case. And once you start going down that optional path, then it trickles all the way down. And you're like, oh, now I got to convert everything to optional because I never know. And that's a mess. And it's complex. And we don't want that. It wasn't meant to be delivered that way. So why not another nullable annotation? Again, from the custom one that we had in Spring Framework, this is one step above, right? This is a group that came together to work together to build this null safety going forward. So, and it rolls under this JSpecify umbrella. Oops, I wanted to hit this play button. And their website has all the information. So you can go and see how to get started. You can see, yeah, it's got a user guide, it's got documentation. I'm going to skip through this part. Fast forward. It's got some guides. I want to get to some real fun stuff. Here's the path. Like, set it by default. Set it to non-null to reduce the noise so we don't have to capture that later. Just setting it to null, then we can capture it. We're not going to run into a null pointer exception. And if we're handling it with our builds, yeah, our lives are going to be that much easier. So we'll walk through an example of setting it to non-null by default. Easy peasy. Here's the key. Yesterday, we're going to add at the package level, we're going to say, I'm using these null annotations, these new annotations from JSpecify. We're doing it at the package level, which gives us the signal. It's going to give our IDE the signal of what we're doing. So for the whole package, now I can go in and say, hey, I want to make sure I'm using the new annotations, the JSpecify annotations. We're making a few changes. I'm going to scoot. Oh, we're just describing that at null-marked annotation, going into the documentation. So this is just saying, hey, in this package, this is what we're doing. I'm going to scoot forward. Now I'm going to go into my token extractor and I'm going to say, here's what I want. We're null-marked. So now this is a nullable class, but it's not null by default. Easy peasy. So far, so good. You're sticking with me? Thank you. Thank you for that feedback. Go to my main method. Now let's test it out. We're going to change our value to null, and let's see what happens. We're expecting. We're passing in a null. So of course, it's expected. Make a change. It says, hey, we're not nullable. What should happen here? What should happen? Null pointer exception, right? Beware. Oh, wait. I wanted to show the, hey, break the build. Our type, we're in good shape here. We want to change to make sure that we're using that JSpecify nullable, which we are, but we're going to have to make sure it's the right type. So now I've got both nullable types. And I'm going to go. Because here's the thing. Wait, one more. Sorry. Now we're ready to rock. No nested token extractor. I can watch through this. Make it nullable. And now we're in good shape. The next step, I want to break the build. I don't want to let this happen. So what I'm going to do now is let's do my build. We know it's going to be a null pointer exception, but we don't want that. We don't want to let that get to production. So now we're going to break the build. We're going to use NullAway, which also uses error prone, and we're going to break the build. So let that, oh, wait, I want to show that video. This is an example. I know I put null in, so I know there's going to be a null pointer exception, but I don't want that to get to production. So when there's that possibility of having a null pointer exception, I want to catch it. I want to catch it at build time. Oh, I'm adding my plugins. I hadn't added the NullAway plugin and the error prone plugin. Yesterday, I didn't let all the videos play. Today's better, right? Better? You were here yesterday, okay. We're going to watch this break the build, and then what we're going to do, oh, we have plenty of time. We have plenty of time. I'm not in a rush today. We've added our dependencies. Now I think we're ready to build. I've got error prone. Can you see my mouse? I've got error prone and NullAway. Fantastic. And let's go build. Oh. He did a refresh, pulled in his dependencies, did a refresh. Let's rock. We expect it. What's going to happen? it's not going to build. It's going to say, hey, Gradle goes fast, build failed. And this is why. We know that there's possibility of a null pointer exception here. So this is great. This is a good step. If I can do this, if I can prevent null pointer exceptions from going to production, I'm in a much better place. The problem with a null pointer exception is we can't catch it, right? We can't catch it, and it's a runtime exception. So here we are. I've broken the build. I'm much safer. Let's take a look at some examples. You ready? I'm going to introduce Andre Kogan.
Hey everyone. Oh,
we'll get your mic turned on.
Working. Yeah.
Andre's one of the software engineers over at JetBrains, and he sat in the session yesterday, and he's like, look, I want to show you how cool this is as a developer. I want to show you the developer experience of what this looks like in the IDE.
Let's see how it can work in real world. Imagine you just update your Spring project to the version, Spring Boot to the version 4 when it will be released. So you not need to add JSpecify manually because you will have JSpecify as a transitive dependency with all 4 annotations on it. JSpecify is really small library, just 4 annotations, but really helpful, for example. And what we have next, of course, we will have errors. Why? Because IDEA take care about JSpecify and Spring as well. Spring already annotated their libraries, for example, CRUD repository, and IDEA try to say to you that you have to annotate this argument as non-null, and we can make it for everyone, but as we discussed before, we can make it better, right? We need just add one annotation here, null-marked. It means that everything that not marked is not null. And if we would like to say it's nullable, we put the new annotation. And one more thing here. Nullable. We can see that Spring Framework decide to deprecate their own annotations, and currently you just need JSpecify in your class path, and it will works in IntelliJ. So let's see one more example. It's quite simple. For example, I would like to add my repository as a dependency to my service, and IDEA also say this one may not be initialized, right? Because we not annotated as after while. But if we add this annotation, IDEA knows that Spring will initialize this field, and there is no error anymore. But I think we can make it better. We can just say bin and inject this one with a constructor after whiling, and it will work. One more small example. With the value annotation, it will work as well, because if we put value, Spring will inject value to the field, right? But unfortunately, NullAway have no this information. If I try to build this code, NullAway is reporting that it may be null. So the current solution is put suppression here. This solution is provided in official Spring documentation. Currently, we have only this way. But I think we will find new solution soon. Work in progress. Let's see one more example. For example, we're using REST client. We retrieve some information. We put it to the string, right? And currently we try to interact with this variable. For example, we would like to know length. And idea knows that it may be null, it may produce a null pointer exception, and say we have to do something with it. Why? Because in a Spring framework, this method is annotated with nullable annotations. So we are in a safe place currently. Every possibilities of the null is highlighted with these red lines. What we can to do here, for example, we can replace it with object require non-null. It's okay. And what will be if we, for example, implement some kind of refactoring, for example, extract. We extracted method, and it also annotated with nullable. And the correct one, nullable from JSpecify. And I would like to show one more thing. One sec. AI system providing better names. Retrieve may be null. Yes, this is the correct one, nullable. And one more thing, we can build, see that NullAway not produce error, but this is not so interesting. The interesting part that JSpecify is also supported by Kotlin. And if you mix up Java and Kotlin, and you will, because Spring is Java, have Java sources, but you would like to use the Spring with the Kotlin. And if you try to using this code demo application, and we have our method. One second. Our method is private. Okay. Var yes. And we try to using it length. The Kotlin knows that it may produce null, and say we need to mark it somehow. But if we say just remove this annotation, because null-marked we have null-marked, and here we try to using this one, goes to Kotlin, and Kotlin just say you are safe. That's it. Coding safe, be more productive with JSpecify and Spring.
That was awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I pulled them up from the section yesterday. It's that cool. If you're a developer, you probably you have an IDE. IntelliJ is some of our favorite, right? And having this type of experience where when I'm doing my refactorings, I get all the benefits that were provided by JSpecify in the new version of Spring Boot and Spring Framework 7. Like, that's awesome. So
Yeah.
I'm happy that you're up here. Thank you so much.
And the current release of IDEA 25.2 is available right now.
Fantastic. As I said, when you come to my house for dinner, if you leave hungry, that's your fault. We're going to stick around. If you've got any questions, feel free to come up and ask. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.